We don't have another day, another time, another place.
When we think about the things that make community and makes communities thrive,
It's gotta be now.
a lot of it is acknowledging their history and being proud of it.
We had hundreds of different businesses here. This was the Black Mecca.
If we ever wanna change, it's gotta be now.
For those of you who've never heard of the 1960 sit-ins, who don't know anything about Accent on Saturday, when blacks and those of us sitting in were attacked by 200 whites with axe handles and baseball bats in downtown Jacksonville.
It's gotta be now.
Being a Jacksonville girl, I feel like we don't, as a city, do a very good job of telling our own story. OutEAST is the last African-American community in Jacksonville that has not been displaced by gentrification. However, this community has also not seen any major infrastructure investment in almost 60 years. This is the corridor that our fans have to drive through on game day. If you don't have a thriving OutEAST community, we don't have a thriving Jacksonville.
I am Suzanne Pickett. Welcome OutEAST. This East Side is special to me because I grew up here in the neighborhood. I am the president of Historic East Side CDC and the board vice chair of Lift Jacks. I am the housing director for the Jacksonville Urban League. I am a mother, I'm an activist, I am a visual artist. I'm a lot of things. The murals and the enhancement of our commercial corridor is extremely important because we are losing our culture. Cultural gentrification precedes gentrification. I've had a lot of comments that when people drive down A. Phillip Randolph corridor that they can't tell that there are businesses here. So from an investor standpoint, from my experience, it's been sort of a free-for-all. But we invite those developers into the community to come partner with us.
I'm partnering with Lift Jacks. So they work in the east side right here, out east. It's a cool initiative trying to revitalize the community.
Our mission is to eradicate generational poverty in Jacksonville. At first, we were a group of outsiders that came in and we thought that Out East would be a great place to work for a couple reasons. One, really strong community leadership, and then momentum around the neighborhood, all the investment. We thought there was an opportunity to bring that into the neighborhood in a way that would benefit community leaders. When we approached community leaders to ask them, would you like to partner back with us? The short answer was, we don't trust you. We've seen a bunch of folks come in, create a plan, probably pay some consultants a bunch of money, and it sits on the shelf and we're left with empty promises.
When you're working with a community that has historically been overlooked, there is a level of trust that you have to begin to gain. Historic neighborhoods come with a designation, which not only allows the community to be proud of its history, but it also opens the door for state and federal funding. The team in 2020 made $1 million donation to Lift Jacksonville that went into a couple of key areas, one being the rebuilding of Deb's grocery store.
The Deb's store has been in the East Side for 100 years. It's been closed for 10 years. The energy and the support that store brought to the community, we want to bring that back into the neighborhood.
Deb's store is one of our first major projects. So what we're going to be doing is restoring that existing structure. It's going to be preserved in a historical fashion, and we're building on a building right next to it too. The bottom floor is going to be access to healthy foods, and the top floor is going to be financial services and workforce development. And so we've really worked with the community to understand a series of priorities that are important to them, and then bring it back at that historic location.
Welcome to the Melanin Market, everybody!
Melanin Market is one of the marquee markets that we have each quarter. We will have about 200 vendors presenting everything from custom shoes to jewelry to food, live music, art. It's just a day of family fun on the Ave.
It started based off of an organization that came into our community to bring a marketplace to support small businesses in this community. And when they came, they didn't include our businesses. So myself and my co-founder, Angie Nixon, we sat on this very bench and said, we need to do something about that. So we called up friends that we knew all over town and set up along this corridor on the sidewalk. And we had more attendees at our little makeshift market than they did at theirs. This was the place where Black people came and supported one another in business. We had hundreds of different businesses here on this corridor. So now that all the development is happening blocks away from us and people are really trying to get in and be a part of the land of milk and honey. We love our relationship with the Jaguars. They're very supportive. Like right now we have a mural project that's going on that the Jaguars are helping support. They're very big supporters of the Melanin Market. They're always out here each time that we're having events, and they're a part of our revitalization projects that we have as well.
The Jaguars have been really great in our efforts. They partner almost in every aspect of our work. In healthcare, community wellness, long-term economic vitality, education, and of course, arts and culture.
The part about being from my city and to be able to serve my city in this way has, I'm about to cry. When I get to walk back into my high school, or I get to walk into neighborhoods like OutEAST that really do look a lot like the neighborhood that I grew up in, and I get to use the power of the NFL and I get to use the power of the Jags to represent my city and to get people to love my city the way I do and to see the good in it. Those are the things that I love about it. Those are the things that sport does.
It was in the plan, the 20-year plan was to tear it all down. We were going to build from this foundation and make it a better community.
My visions for OutEAST is their kids have safe parks to play in, that they have homes that they can pass down to the next generation, that they have access to healthy foods and healthcare systems. They have transportation that they can get around to the places in our city that they want to get to, that they feel safe going home in the evenings. A good neighbor is that one that you can knock on the door and like borrow a cup of sugar, or that neighbor is the one that looks out for you. And as an organization, as a team, we want to be their favorite neighbor.
Duval!